Over in the Pretzel City, council sessions entangle with tense debates lasting almost until midnight. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley meets with Freeport leaders wanting to revise the rule book.
Freeport City Council lasted nearly 5 hours Monday night, which the mayor says could shrink if the debate stayed on topic. New rules would force council members to follow just that.
Apply to the rules.
You're not complying, but most of us are not complying.
Excuse yourself.
That was Freeport City Council about a month ago. The latest session featured similar tensions.
You've already approved it though, right? You know that.
Yeah, I approved it before I done my homework.
You need to do your homework, you need to be prepared, and ask questions before the meeting.
Meetings that last long into the night inspire Mayor Jody Miller to try and amend council rules.
It's not being efficient when you have 3, 4, and 5 hour long meetings. Really, it's about the need to increase our professionalism.
Some changes include a $100 fine for not voting and restricting council members to speak 10 minutes or less. One alderman believes there's an easier solution. Lawmakers should meet with city staff.
If you don't understand something, go see them before the meeting, and then they can talk to you one-on-one. I think you just need to do more research at the beginning.
Freeport leaders say those in Pretzel City deserve better than twisted debates.
I want to get down to city business, stop going down all these rabbit holes, because then it just leads to more and more things that are discussed that are not according to the agenda item.
It's nice if you could come together and air each other's differences and come to a common ground.
The mayor's amendment will next appear at the December Committee of the Whole meeting. Any council member can also change the amendment however they wish.
Thank you, Nathaniel. And besides changes to the rule book, Freeport City Hall also hosts a donation drive for local Illinois National Guard troops. The mayor welcomes any donations for the 62 troops deployed in Alaska this holiday season.